Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Joe here. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, it is Friday. Happy Friday to everyone who's catching us on this day. If you are, I hope you all have a great weekend leading up to this. But crypto never sleeps, of course. And we're looking at Vechain today. We haven't looked at this one for a few weeks. Price action moving on quite nicely, as it has done with a lot of altcoins out there. And I do think Vechain could be a great opportunity right now where it is. Now, of course, nothing in this video is financial advice. This is all just my opinions. Do your own research and make your own investment decisions. Good luck to all those decisions that you make. If you enjoy the content, of course, make sure you smash up the like, guys. Helps us get it out to individuals like yourself. And if you are new here for the first time, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and go back and watch all the previous videos. We've got a whole host of crypto content coming out all the time. So we're looking at Vechain right now, of course, a project that we've talked about quite a lot on the channel before. Always been long-term bullish on Vechain. Chain for blockchain, the layer one for sustainability. Again, if you've never looked at this project before, you absolutely should. They are very environmentally friendly, all about keeping things green, sustainable, keeping transaction costs low. And I really like what this project does because it is still, even though it's one of the bigger projects in the crypto space, still, trying to capture a fairly niche market, which I think is important, not just being your routine layer one. Now, VeChain on X, of course, I've talked about the big projects being over that 1 million. They've got 617,000 followers, fairly decent, still growing, and still fairly active in the community. And I do think that a lot of people who are VeChain maxis or, heavily into VeChain are here. Definitely, for the long run, see the future in this project. So it's not really one that when I talk to people in the community, they seem to be looking at trading VeChain or getting in and out. It is really one that people have been accumulating a lot of. Now, at time of recording, we are just over 3.5 cents. That's down about 5.5% on the month. So fairly decent pullback on VeChain. Rank 44 in terms of market cap, 2.6 billion. Now, personally, I don't see VeChain getting into the top 10 anytime soon. I'm not even sure if I will see that, but I do think, again, just my opinion, rank 44, I think just a touch low for VeChain. I can see things going really well in this project, and I do kind of like the setup on the chart, so make sure you stick around for the rest of the video because I do think there is some positivity potentially in the charts. Volume down 16% on the 24 hours. Not too bad, but circulating supply 83%. We'd like to talk about the circulating supply on this show. Not exceptional, but fairly decent. So not too many major concerns on there if you are investing in VeChain. Now, sentiment on VeChain is usually pretty bullish no matter where the price action's going. This might be a bit of a crazy one. Can $1,000 of VeChain in 2024 make $1 million by 2030? So you'd be looking at essentially a 1000x there in 6 years. 1000x sounds great. We know crazy things can happen in crypto. Don't take too much from that at all. Certainly, VeChain maxis will be certainly hoping and dreaming of that. I do think VeChain can do many, many X's from where it is currently. I'm not convinced it'll do a 1000x, but I certainly think there is very, very good potential of upside on VeChain. And we always talk about big unknown on the channel in terms of altcoins. Will they ever see new all-time highs? We know the vast majority of altcoins more than likely will not see new all-time highs. Of course, there's still coins that were around in the last confirmed altcoin bull market of 2020, 2021, etc. There's still not that many in the list that have hit new all-time highs since. Of course, Bitcoin's gone to a new all-time high. We haven't even seen Ethereum go to a new all-time high. So we're still waiting for that real deal altcoin season next, that real deal altcoin bull market. But I do think VeChain is one that has a good, fair chance of getting to new all-time highs. Now, VeChain in the news a couple of days ago, this one probably passed quite a few people this, but I think this is fairly significant myself, potentially, but it all depends on what the partner company does. But VeChain and SYME's Joint venture promises blockchain-powered fintech revolution, implications for VET. Now, who is SYME? What is SYME? I know what you're thinking. That is the actual ticker for a company called SupplyatMe. So you can see significant collaboration between SupplyatMe and Vechain aims at revolutionizing supply chain finance globally. The SYME 2023 annual report brings bullish news for Vechain holders, unveiling a groundbreaking partnership between SupplyatMe and the supply chain titan Vechain. Now, if you do a bit of research on SupplyatMe, I'm not going to go too much into it, but if you're invested in Vechain, you may want to do this. Just picking up on this on the FinTech Times here. Fairly decent article. Basically describes what SupplyatMe are all about and what they are trying to solve, I think, is the key thing here. So the problem SupplyatMe solves is common across every business that retains physical goods. Historically, inventory has been an unattractive asset to fund for financial institutions. Many perceive it as a high-risk option and vulnerable to fraud because it is difficult to monitor stock accurately and effectively. So partnering with Vechain is going to make that more efficient, putting it on the blockchain. That is obviously what SupplyatMe are clearly targeting here. But you can see the team has an understanding of this market issue and a drive to solve this common but complex problem efficiently, which has resulted in a straightforward inventory solution. So SupplyatMe is looking to essentially finance and earn money from other companies having issues with supply chain. With they could be companies that are shipping the things that have got a short shelf life or even a long shelf life. Items that have got a long shelf life, of course, they take up a lot of money, they take up a lot of time in storage. And how can you best cut your costs or even earn from those? And that's what SupplyatMe is trying to do. Now, they are a company that's been around for a while, but only went public a few years ago. So admittedly, not looking great for them at the moment, but it's a fintech company. We know some of these fintech companies, share prices, etc., can do absolutely nothing for a few years until they have that moment where they absolutely boom. So they, in their own sense, away from cryptocurrency, which of course is a high risk investment. Of course, you may see Vechain as a high risk investment. You could also say SupplyatMe as a high risk investment, considering since they launched on the London Stock Exchange in 2020, they're actually down share price 98.2% all time. So I'm not saying buy the dip on there, but of course, when you're taking a risk on these high risk assets, it's always better to potentially, buy the red candles than the green candles, right? But let's get more into Vechain here now. So, like I said, down 5% on the month. Taking a look at the year, though, of course, it's been a fairly decent year, up 84%. That kind of fits in with roughly the majority of the kind of year that many altcoins have had. So let's get into the chart on Vechain because I wanted to focus more on the long term. So we'll take a look at the weekly chart here today. Got it marked up. Vechain bullish continuation for the VET token. Now, last time we looked at it, we talked about this break of the downtrend confirmed back in February. Of course, you could have got in earlier, speculating, and well done to anybody who did. Now, the orange and green boxes that I've got on here, that's just the way I'm kind of looking at it. Is orange box, anything inside there, which we are just about currently, I kind of see as a fair value area to be potentially picking up some Vechain. I think personally, again, not financial advice, but Vechain looks a decent buy within this area. Anything within the green box, though, I think was a very, very good buy. We're talking under around about 2.3 cents or less. Now, we potentially had the first impulse. Many altcoin charts look like this. Vechain is no different. We had the first kind of move from the summer last year, the lows. Looking really good. Good, strong end to Q4 of 23 and an even better final run in Q1 of 24 this year, topping out in February. some altcoins topping out in March, some topping out in February, some even topped out in January, but fairly similar flow to the way things are going. And we've had a decent correction. We've had a decent correction since, and of course, we'd be looking for that to be in 3 waves. And right now, the chart's lining up quite nicely with Vechain. Of course, we cannot guarantee that any reversal may come here and the correction is over. But right now, as a measured move, things are looking potentially good as a 3-wave correction on this weekly chart. So if this can hold structure, bullish structure, things are looking really good potentially to get into Vechain now. So some traders may be looking at this. I could imagine some people potentially getting long this week or now, or even waiting for, a move potentially back up above 3.6 cents. Little bit more confirmation, of course, taking the risk that could be a fake out, but things could potentially be looking good to get into Vechain there. Now, major resistance above, I'm seeing as this high back here, which was back in March of 22. I think that's going to be some resistance to get through. If Vechain can get a bullish move that we've seen play out here, which was potentially, wave 3 also, if that can play out here as well, I think we will make a good move up to that potential target of resistance, which is going to be around about 8.9 cents. It could even be up at 9 cents. You may get a wick above. But once we break through there, if we, potentially backtest that, I think we are on a very good run, and it's way too early to say where that could go. It could, run into some resistance in this area. We may even attack the all-time high as previous resistance, but what we're really looking for now is to come back and test these kind of highs here around about 5 cents. If we're getting up to 5 cent, guys, again, and we're consolidating, and as long as we're not double topping up against here, which of course there'll be some resistance, once we get through here, it should be a very good run up, in my opinion. So from a bullish perspective, because I don't really want to talk too much about the bearish perspective here on Vechain at the minute, things are looking okay. Very briefly, of course, the bearish situation here would be we don't really want to keep breaking down lower, because if we break down lower here, get back under this trend line, this could have just been potentially a fake out. Then we may just end up setting a lower high for the year, which of course would be the dreaded head and shoulders, and then we could potentially break down to new lows. And that's probably what I would see the bearish scenario looking like on Vechain, but not going to focus too much on that at the moment, because this structure still looks good, and you can sort of see the curve at the bottom, the reversal here again. Lots of altcoins looking good, having that decent accumulation period to potentially be on a new bull market. Now, it's not, of course, at the minute looking as explosive as this did, but I've talked about it again quite a lot of times on this channel on a lot of these altcoin charts, that I just don't think we're being given things as easy last year and this year as we were then. So it could be a bit more of a difficult grind up, but the point is that things are still looking bullish, and we are still potentially grinding up. So leave us a comment below if you've been buying any Vechain, if you think it's a bullish time to buy Vechain. But right now, things are looking pretty good to me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.